The world is full of mysteries, and Atlantis is still at the top of the list of undiscovered locations. Instead of the land we live in, what appears stranger to us is the ocean, which houses many myths, legends, and mysteries. While scientists have been able to explain many of these mysteries, quite a few remained unexplored. The ocean, being very similar to space, could it be possible that there are portals deep in the depths linking our planet to cosmos? Lost cities, hidden treasures, and mystic ships are part of the overwhelming marine world, along with amphibious beings and demigods that are said to have helped shape humanity as we know it. Once upon a time, there existed a large expanse of land which held a great mystery. It is called Atlantis. The story about the island of Atlantis was first heard 2,300 years ago by the Greek philosopher Plato, who said there was a great ancient city that was destroyed and submerged under the Atlantic Ocean. In this video, we will unravel the mystery of this wonderland where it is believed to have existed and how it got lost till the present day. It is not clear whether Greeks at the time took Plato's account as a metaphor for the fall of successful societies or believed it was a record of history. The story of Atlantis sinking is a legendary tale originating from the writings of the ancient Greek philosopher Plato. Following Plato's dialogues, Timaeus and Critias, Atlantis was a progressive and thriving civilization. Atlantis existed around 9,000 years before his time, making it approximately 11,000 years ago. Plato described Atlantis as a large island beyond the Pillars of Hercules, which is believed to refer to the Strait of Gibraltar. Atlantis was said to be a powerful and technologically advanced civilization, ruled by a succession of kings who had control over vast territories. The famous tale of the lost city of Atlantis and its whereabouts. Greek philosopher Plato stated that Atlantis was an advanced civilization that predated man as we know it, with technology that far outweighs anything that exists today. An otherworldly civilization founded by demigods. Renowned philosopher Plato states he heard the story of Atlantis from his grandfather, who heard it from the Athenian statesman Solon, 300 years before Plato's time, who learned it from an Egyptian priest, who said it happened 9,000 years before that. Oops, that's quite a tweak in time. There are many theories of its whereabouts, from Spain to the Bermuda Triangle, which we will reveal and uncover in this video. Where's the lost city of Atlantis now? Atlantis, if an authentic place, was destroyed by a tumultuous wave, said to be so destructive that it washed away its entire civilization. Architectural structures, temples, homes, and people wiped out in hours, leaving all of its mysteries and secrets to merge with the ocean floor. Some theories suggest this cataclysmic wave could have been the Great Flood we hear about in the Bible. Many different religions and ancient texts refer to an apocalyptic type of flood of some explanation. Plato told the story of Atlantis around 360 BC. The founders of Atlantis, he said, were half god and half human. They developed a utopian civilization and became a great naval power. Their home was made up of concentric islands, separated by wide moats and linked by a canal that ran through to the center. The lush islands contained gold, silver, and other precious metals, and supported an abundance of rare, exotic wildlife. There was a great capital city on the central island. There are many theories about where Atlantis was, in the Mediterranean, off the coast of Spain, even under what is now Antarctica. Pick a spot on the map, and someone has said that Atlantis was there, says Charles Orser, curator of history at the New York State Museum in Albany. Every place you can imagine. In the first centuries of the Christian era, Aristotle was taken at his word, and Atlantis was little discussed. In 1627, the English philosopher and scientist Francis Bacon published a utopian novel titled The New Atlantis, portraying, like Plato before him, a politically and scientifically developed society on a previously unknown oceanic island. In 1882, former U.S. Congressman Ignatius L. Donnelly published Atlantis, the Antediluvian World, which touched off a frenzy of works attempting to locate and learn from a historical Atlantis. Donnelly hypothesized an advanced civilization whose immigrants had populated much of ancient Europe, Africa, and the Americas, and whose heroes had inspired Greek, Hindu, and Scandinavian mythology. Donnelly's theories were popularized and elaborated by the turn of the 20th century theosophists and are often incorporated into contemporary New Age beliefs. From time to time, archaeologists and historians locate evidence: a swampy, prehistoric city in coastal Spain, a suspicious undersea rock formation in the Bahamas. That might be a source of the Atlantis story. Of these, the site with the widest acceptance is the Greek island of Santorini, ancient Thera, a half-submerged caldera created by the massive 2nd millennia BC volcanic eruption whose tsunami may have hastened the collapse of the Minoan civilization on Crete. Is Atlantis in Sahara? Some believe the Eye of the Sahara in Mauritania holds the secrets we've long imagined to be true. Stretching 14.6 miles across, the eye appears to be from another world. Considering Plato's writings on the subject, it's possible that this incredible structure is the final resting place of millions of Atlanteans. While Plato's descriptions of Atlantis are epic and mind-blowing, many believe he barely scratched the surface. He described Atlantis as a massive formation of concentric circles, alternating between land and water, similar to how the eye is seen today. He emphasized that Atlantis was a wealthy, utopian civilization that created the basis for the Athenian democratic model. Plato went on to describe the land as rich in gold, silver, copper, and other precious metals and gemstones. According to Plato, the story of Atlantis, first told by the ancient Egyptians, has all the elements you'd expect from a culture that was not only ahead of its time, but also wildly arrogant. Atlantis was a leader in academia, architecture, agriculture, technology, diversity, and spiritual empowerment. Their navy and military were unmatched, and the Atlantean kings ruled with extreme authority. It's no surprise that Atlantis fell in ways similar to Rome, and potentially in a similar way to how the United States could fall. This power came forth out of the Atlantic Ocean, an island larger than Libya and Asia put together. Now, in this island of Atlantis, there was a great and wonderful empire which had rule over the whole island and several others, and over parts of the continent: Plato, Timaeus, Critias. Soon after waging an aggressive, unprovoked war on parts of Asia, the Atlanteans were defeated by the only army willing to defend the continent, the Athenians. Amidst the battles, the gods thrust violent tsunamis, earthquakes, tornadoes, hurricanes, and floods upon the empire of Atlantis. As if admitting its sins, Atlantis burst apart, dissolved into the ocean and desert, and was never seen again. The Eye of the Sahara, also known as the richat structure and Eye of Africa, is located in the Sahara Adrar Plateau in Mauritania, the Islamic Republic in northwest Africa. This massive geologic, inverse dome contains rocks and sediment dating back to a time before life on Earth. Visible from space, the Eye of Sahara resembles a massive bullseye, which begins to form when the supercontinent Pangaea broke apart. Is it possible that Pangaea itself was actually Atlantis in its entirety? The igneous rocks embedded in the eye includes carbonates and black basalts akin to Hawaii's Big Island. Legend tells us that Atlantis was an empire made of 10 kingdoms, with the island of Atlantis as the capital. The god Poseidon gave birth to 5 sets of twins, 10 children in total, each one running one of the 10 kingdoms. Having twins is a rare occurrence. It just so happens that the highest birth rate of twins on planet Earth is found in Nigeria, very close to Mauritania. Plato and Solon were known to have integrity and were therefore rarely challenged. Atlantis is the only story of Plato's that was ever disputed. One of the strangest aspects of the history of Atlantis is that none of these theories are presented in Wikipedia, and every related page is locked. This includes pages about the Eye, King Atlas, and the god Poseidon. How is it that the universally accepted concept that Atlantis existed is left out of one of society's most treasured resources? If you're still on the fence about the Eye of the Sahara being the location of the city of Atlantis, consider that the city of Troy was thought to be a myth for thousands of years, until it was found, exactly where Homer said it would be.